Welcome back to another episode of Big Bear Boston Squad, episode number 38. The conversation I want to get into today is about Keith Thurman and what could be next for him after a big win over Mario Barrios. Let's check out these clips on what Keith Thurman had to say after the big win.
I'm in now, and I look forward to having a better year later this year, 2022, baby. One time is back.
I know you're excited.
Really should. I need to. Okay, right here. I need to really focus on hurting people. You know.
Thank you, Keith. Thanks, man. Hey, Keith, did you feel any? It didn't look like it, but did you feel any rust at all?
Yes. Yeah. I was sharp, but I couldn't finish.
Why'd you put him in there with Barrios, Dan?
I'll be able to make up.
Hey, how'd you like to?
Thanks for the honesty, Keith. I just wanted to ask you, moving forward, Terence Crawford, when he was asked who he would want to fight, he has repeatedly mentioned you first, and he's obviously some free agent or whatever he is. What do you think about the possibility of making that fight as your next fight, and what do you think of the fight in general?
Well, you know, the fact that he's a free agent should make things a little bit better. Working with Bob is not fun for a lot of fighters. At the end of the day, I'm not sure. You know, you see what I'm wearing right now. You see what I'm representing. But they've been asking me for a long time, where are you ranked, Keith Thurman? And I say, I don't know. One of the best fighters in the world.
That was a beautiful performance that him and Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios put on last night. I want to congratulate both fighters. That was a amazing showcase, and I think that it was even bigger for Keith Thurman because I'm going to admit it, I started doubting the fight the closer it got to the fight. I was actually right. If you guys will go look at my 12th and final round segment, I was actually right the first time. Keith Thurman got hurt, but he didn't get dropped. That was the only thing I was wrong about. But as far as coming out on with a 12th round victory, I was consistent on. I was right. And like I said, I started looking at Mario Barrios' height and all that stuff. Man, I was like, I don't know, man. I started thinking about Keith Thurman's age and all that stuff. So, you know, I was right the first time. I was wrong the second time as far as thinking too much into the fight. But Keith Thurman put on a brilliant performance. It was a masterclass showcase. However you want to put it, Keith Thurman is the man. I love Keith Thurman as far as, you know, boxing. I'm a big fan of his, and I'm glad that he came back and actually showed people the reason why he should be top dog and actually contend for a belt. But as you can see, Terence Crawford is up on the screen. Now, I think this is the most likely fight to actually happen. To stay on topic, you know, what's next for Keith Thurman? What could be next for Keith Thurman? I think, just listen to my breakdown. I think that him and Terence Crawford, if Terence Crawford actually really want to fight, which I think from reports is saying that he really do want that fight next, I don't think he want to sit around and wait on, you know, that's a long time for Terence Crawford to be outside the ring too, if he does wait for the winner of UGAS versus SPENCE. That's a long time. I mean, you talking December maybe? Because once them guys get done, I mean, that's going to be quite a while to kind of rest and recoup and then get back into the gym and start training for another 9 weeks. I mean, that's a long time for Terence Crawford to be out. So I think for a busy fight and actually to come off, now check this out. Check out what I'm about to say. Now, he came off a big win over Shawn Porter, right? And a lot of people have been getting on it. You know, a lot of people get on Terence Crawford for not fighting the best, so-called not fighting the best. So he knocked Shawn Porter out, got the stoppage. He come back and he fight Keith Thurman. That's what Terence Crawford should have been doing early on. But you can still do it. They around the same age, so there's no excuses or nothing like that. I think that will be an amazing fight. I think it could be a lot of drama build up for that fight. I think tickets will be out of the. I mean, people will. I know I buy it. I don't know about y'all. I know y'all will buy it. If you're a true boxing fan, you're gonna buy it. So I feel like that fight will sell out. And I think on Terence Crawford's part, not to get too much into Terence Crawford because I want to kind of focus on Keith Thurman and what's next for him. But I think it's smart for Terence Crawford to actually take this fight. It's a big payday if they can get the numbers right, if he can kind of get his other things in order, which I think he will. Terence Crawford is too much of a brilliant fighter. He's not a big star yet. Because it's only because of the media and how Terence Crawford is perceived and the maybe, you know, just doing bad business. But other than that, I think Terence Crawford can fight on any network. People would do anything to get Terence Crawford a one deal fight. I think there's no barriers up for something like that. You know, it's not like he's just a nobody. I think his name alone would get him a fight. I think him going to the PBC for a fight or two, I think he could do the same thing Canelo doing. I think you could be a floater, you could be a Devin Haney. But to stay on topic, I think Keith Thurman put himself in a really good position. I think he earned the position that he's in now. I think a lot of people are looking at him, and I think that even ERROL Spence is probably looking at him a little different. This fight could be very lucrative. I think if Terence Crawford and Keith Thurman actually fight and Keith Thurman actually win a belt, man, could you imagine the drama between, like, if ERROL Spence can take care of business against UGAS? Could you imagine? Could you imagine that pay-per-view? Keith Thurman, like all the drama that they had when Keith Thurman was top dog, and they could build that fight around that. Keith Thurman was top dog, but it would never give ERROL Spence a chance, and then they finally fight and settle the score. Come on, man, that's a big part. But I think that Keith Thurman, man, I think he's motivated to stay busy. I think he learned his lesson with not staying busy enough. I think he learned his lesson with Pacquiao. I think he wasn't active enough. I think he took Pacquiao. Not saying he took him light. I don't think Keith Thurman take anybody light. And if anybody think that you taking Keith Thurman very lightly, but I think that Keith Thurman, I think his, just mind wise, probably wasn't super prepared for what Pacquiao was gonna do. And I think that Keith Thurman made the adjustments, and he came back as a proven fighter. I think he looked better than he has even in the Danny Garcia fight and the Sean Porter fight. I think he looked a lot better. I think he looked sharper. I think he knew exactly what game plan he wanted to, his team had a game plan, and Keith Thurman stuck to that game plan, and he executed perfectly. He took every single round against a dangerous fighter. It takes a great fighter to make another great fighter look average, and he made Mario Barrios look average. I think that Mario Barrios I don't think he has a long way to go, but I think he'll bounce back. I think he's too good of a fighter. He'll find fights that kind of get him back on the winning streak. But Keith Thurman was just too much, and Keith Thurman, I think that you can see the motivation in his eyes even before the fight. So I'm happy for Keith Thurman. I want to see him fight the best. I want to see him face off against Terence Crawford, ERROL Spence, and YORDENIS UGAS. And I think that any one of these fights could be made with the right opportunity and the right timing. But you guys let me know, what's the most likely fight that could probably happen with what could be next for Keith Thurman? What's the biggest fight that he can actually take to stay busy? Is it the Terence Crawford fight? Is that the most likely fight that can happen? You guys let me know what you think down in the comments below. That's going to conclude another episode of Big Bear Boxing Squad, episode number 38. You guys let me know what you think about this topic and all the other topics that I bring up on my channel. If you want to see what I'm wearing, shoptachi.com. Follow me on all social media platforms that I'm currently on. Links will be down in the descriptions below. Please go check out my Twitch. I got more boxing content over there. And I also have a Big Bear Boxing Squad IG page, so please go check that out as well. So to my old subscribers, new subscribers, please make sure you try to watch the video through the duration, so that way you can get the full breakdown of the content that I produce. And also, I just want to thank you guys. Without you guys, I wouldn't be currently sitting at 145 subscribers, trying to get to 200 before the end of this month. So I got a lot of work to do as far as giving you guys the best content that I can possibly bring you guys. So with that said, make sure you try to hit the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell. That way you won't miss out on none of the new content that I drop. I drop daily. I drop at least twice a day, and I do also check out my shorts on here. Some of them are pretty funny, and some of them are very detailed on just wishful thinking of some of these matches that a lot of us fans want to see between these talented boxers. But with that said, I got to cut this video short. Just want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Big Bear Boxing Squad.